Should you see The Swiss Family Robinson? Set in the 1800s, a family fleeing unrest in their home country seeks refuge in a new land. Their plans are altered when their ship is attacked by pirates and the crew flee, stranding the family in the wreck. The ship seems stable enough. Should they stay? There's an island nearby, but how safe is it really? Is it even an island? Is help coming? Or are they on their own? There are going to be some hefty spoilers in this review, so if you haven't seen this one yet, just know that there's some really cool stuff in the movie. But there's an equal amount of things about it that just might aggravate even the easiest to please viewer. The coolest part of this movie doesn't really have to do with the story or characters, no. The real star of the show is an amazing, gigantic hodgepodge mansion of a treehouse the family builds. Seriously, as a kid I would have dreams about this thing. It's functional and fanciful, dangerous yet homey. So if forts and treehouses are your jam, then this movie might get a recommendation on that aspect alone. But if you're personally a bit more focused on things like character and story, well, here's where things become mixed. Half the characters exist simply to complicate the plot. For example, the brothers rescue an annoying young boy. But wait, that's no young boy. Remove his hat and it's a fully grown woman. Immediately, and I mean immediately, the brothers snap from wanting to sock the kid in the mouth to wanting to woo her simply because she removed her hat. She then proceeds to spend the rest of the movie gleefully pitting the brothers against each other, resulting in lots of shouting, scuffling, and glowering between the brothers. This is just one example of just how shockingly bad the writing and character development can be, which is frustrating because the overall plot is a lethal game of tower defense meets Home Alone style booby traps against waves and waves of pirates. Why did this movie need a complicated love triangle? Oh wait, it didn't. There are much more interesting character threads that are hinted at, but never fully explored. The father is racked with guilt, taking the weight of their situation upon himself as he made the choice to leave their home country in the first place. This great character arc is never fleshed out. The mother struggles as the only female on the island, fluctuating between her new role as co-leader of her own new world and her Victorian role of no fun subservient stereotype. There's a real conflict here just itching to be explored. This great character arc is never fleshed out. Instead, we get to spend just under an hour of the running time not doing cool treehouse things, not developing characters, but watching two brothers squabble over a girl they just met and mistook for a boy. Really. The old school effects here are alright. The matte paintings are nice, but clash with little things like wind direction and ocean wave movement, but you know, what do you want? The stunts are okay, but things like boulders bouncing like rubber balls off pirate heads and tree trunks bending like rubber snakes instead of steamrolling people as they're supposed to really undercuts any tension the movie may have had to begin with. The violence in general is pretty tame, but the effects don't help. Other Disney films of this era have way better effects. See Mary Poppins or 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea. Don't get me wrong, the ones in Swiss Family Robinson are serviceable. They just haven't aged well like their counterparts have. Musically, the score is orchestral and very old-school Hollywood. To modern sensibilities, it might come off as though it's trying way too hard to be emotionally manipulative. Doesn't always work. So yeah, this is an interesting movie with some pretty extreme pros and cons, begging the question, should you see The Swiss Family Robinson? If you love forts, treehouses, and tales of survival with a dash of mischief and pirates mixed in for good measure, this might be a good pick for your next family movie night. If outright aggravating characters, a long, slow runtime, a vestigial love triangle, and mediocre practical effects get you down, you might want to sail away from this island at full speed. By way of second opinions, Rotten Tomatoes gives The Swiss Family Robinson 80% out of 100, and IMDb gave it 7.2 stars out of 10.